I never imagined I could feel embarrassed, furious, and stunned all at the same time. My name is Alex, and for years I believed my wife Olivia truly valued and cherished me. She was stunning, intelligent, and carried herself with a poise that drew admiration everywhere she went. I loved that about her, but sometimes the qualities that make someone shine in public can also conceal the fractures beneath the surface. Fractures I was about to witness in the worst way possible. It unfolded last Friday at a corporate gala, an event I only attended because she insisted. The room sparkled with lights, laughter, and the usual displays of influence and ego. I expected meaningless conversation, polite greetings, and a few forced toasts. What I didn't expect was for Olivia to completely degrade me in front of every colleague. I had stepped away briefly to grab a drink when I noticed her leaning in close to her boss, Mr. Carter. At first I brushed it off. Maybe it was friendly. Maybe it meant nothing. But the way she laughed at his words, the way her hand lingered on his arm, and the suggestive tilt of her body made unease creep through me. Then it happened, loud enough for nearby coworkers to hear. She announced, "Alex just doesn't satisfy me the way I need." My chest tightened. The words weren't accidental, they were chosen deliberately. Meant to wound, meant to embarrass. I froze, unable to process what I'd just heard. Did she really say that? In front of all these people? And worse, she was sitting on his lap, smiling as if humiliating her husband was nothing more than a playful joke. A sickening mix of shock and anger churned in my stomach. The chuckles from coworkers blurred with my own disbelief, echoing around me. For a moment, it felt like I had vanished, reduced to nothing more than the butt of her joke. I didn't rush toward her. Every instinct built from past betrayals told me to watch first. So I observed. I watched her shift slightly, her eyes glancing at me with a mischievous spark. She wanted a reaction. She wanted me to explode, to create a scene, but I didn't give her that satisfaction. Silence can speak louder than any explosion. I stood at the edge of the room, pulse racing, fists tight. Yet when I finally approached, my voice remained calm. No yelling, no accusations. Just a look, cold, steady, unmistakably clear. I saw everything, and I understood exactly what she intended. The moment our eyes locked, her smile weakened. She expected embarrassment or shock, not the cold, controlled fury I carried like armor. Conversations continued around us as if nothing had happened. Unaware of the storm rising between us, the tension grew, hers and mine. The public mockery, the audacity of sitting on her boss's lap, all while tearing me down with a smirk. It came with consequences she didn't foresee. For a moment, she hesitated, caught between continuing her performance and backing down. I let that hesitation stretch until she finally moved off Mr. Carter's lap. In her eyes, I saw it, the realization that she had made a severe miscalculation. Later that night at home, the weight of it all lingered. Olivia tried to laugh it off, brushing it aside as a harmless joke, as if humiliating me publicly could be undone with a shrug. But I wasn't fooled. I heard the truth in her tone, saw it in how she avoided eye contact, and felt it in the tension that filled the room. Her behavior revealed a part of her I hadn't truly faced before, a need for validation, a hunger for control, and perhaps a thrill she sought, even if it came at the expense of our marriage. Over the next few days, I watched her closely. Every word, touch, and glance was measured against what I had seen. And I realized something vital. People tell the truth through their actions, far more than through their words. Olivia chose to belittle me publicly, to chase attention in a space meant for professionalism. In doing so, she showed me exactly what boundaries she was willing to cross and how little she valued mine. For the first time in years, I felt clarity. The pain was real, but so was a strange sense of freedom. I finally understood who she was, what she prioritized, and what I would never tolerate again. This wasn't just betrayal, it was revelation, and in that revelation, I found strength, not for revenge, but for self-respect. The following week, our home was filled with a cautious stillness I hadn't felt before. Olivia moved more carefully, aware that the arrogance she displayed at the gala had evaporated. Her once bold confidence now carried a shadow of shame. I, meanwhile, felt an unwavering calm. I finally understood my worth, my boundaries, and the non-negotiable standards I expected in my marriage. One evening, she finally tried to speak. Her voice was soft, hesitant. "Alex, I didn't mean for it to come out like that," she murmured, still not meeting my eyes. I didn't respond right away. I let her words linger. She had tried to control the narrative publicly, belittle me for attention, and now she had to face the reality she created. The days that followed were filled with careful, deliberate interactions. I didn't provoke her, didn't plead, and didn't dramatize anything. I allowed her behavior to reflect her level of respect or lack thereof. It became a test of character for both of us. And I learned something important. A person's reaction to boundaries tells you everything by the end of the week. I noticed a shift. Olivia spoke differently, humbly, cautiously, with genuine awareness. The flirtations, the arrogance, the public teasing, they stopped. Her actions carried accountability, not excuses. She understood exactly what she had done. This wasn't about forgiveness. It was about acknowledgement, responsibility, and the reality of the trust she had broken. Looking back, the experience changed us both. I didn't have to raise my voice or create scenes. My calm, steady boundaries shook her deeper than anger ever could. The gala had exposed her recklessness, but the aftermath revealed something far more powerful: clarity. I finally understood who she was, what she valued, and the limits I would never again compromise. She had tried to humiliate me, but in doing so, she exposed her true character, and in that truth, I found strength, clarity, and unwavering self-respect. In the end, the lesson was clear. Actions speak the loudest. Public humiliation exposes true character, and respect once broken is not something that can be taken for granted. Olivia learned that the hard way, and I walked away with a renewed understanding of myself, my worth, and the love and loyalty I genuinely deserve.